So, you're a subcontractor for bold commercial construction. Let's talk about getting paid. This right here, this is your complete guide. We're going to walk through exactly how to put together a payment application that gets approved on the first try every single time.
Okay, here's what we're going to cover. First, we'll get into the why behind Bold's process. Then, we'll break down the 3 essential documents you need for your payment package. After that, we're going to spend some real time decoding lien waivers, because let's be honest, they can be tricky, and make sure you know exactly which form to use and when. And finally, we'll wrap up with the critical deadlines and deal breakers you absolutely cannot miss.
The goal here is actually pretty simple. It's to get you paid quickly, without any headaches. Now, Bold has a very specific process with some really strict rules. And yeah, that might seem like a bit of a challenge, but trust me, following these steps to the letter is the fastest way to get your payment processed without any rejections or delays.
And look, this is the most crucial point, and it comes straight from the source. Using Bold's specific forms, well, it isn't a suggestion, it's a hard requirement. This is rule number 1. If you try to use your own forms, your application is going to be rejected immediately. No second look, no exceptions.
So let's get into it. Let's build your core payment package. Your entire submission is built around 3 key documents that together create a complete and clear picture of your billing for the month. Everything, and I mean everything, starts in Procore. First, you'll go in and complete your pay application and your schedule of values right there in the system. Then you're going to attach 2 other really important forms, the Supplier and Subcontractor List and the Payment Tracking Report. So let's take a closer look at those 2 attachments.
The first form you'll need is the Supplier and Subcontractor List. The best way to think of this is like a master contact sheet for the project. You've got to provide complete and, most importantly, accurate contact info for your own company and for every single vendor, supplier, or second-tier sub you're using. Accuracy here is absolutely key.
Next up is the Payment Tracking Report. This form is all about transparency. It shows how much money you owe your own suppliers from this specific draw, and it also documents how much you've already paid them from previous draws. It's simple, really. You just list each vendor, the total you've billed for them, what's been paid out so far, and what the remaining balance is.
All right, let's dive into the part that, let's be real, often causes the most confusion but is so critical for getting paid: lien waivers. Getting this part right is a huge step toward building that rejection-proof application we're aiming for.
So what even is a lien waiver? The easiest way to think about it is as an official receipt in the construction world. When you sign it, you're formally stating, yes, I've been paid for this work, and in exchange, you give up your right to place a lien on the property for that specific amount of money.
And here is a detail you just cannot afford to miss. You don't just submit a lien waiver for your own company. No. You are also responsible for collecting lien waivers from every single one of your suppliers and second-tier subs who are getting paid with project funds. It's on you to get those.
The good news is Bold provides all the waiver forms you'll need. The tricky part is knowing which one to use. But really, the choice just comes down to answering 2 simple questions. These 4 little words define every waiver, so you just have to ask yourself, is this a regular monthly payment, or is it the very last one? And second, have I actually received the money yet, or am I submitting this waiver so I can get paid? Answering those 2 questions tells you exactly which form you need to fill out.
Okay, let's break it down. First up, progress versus final. This one's pretty straightforward. You'll use progress waivers for all of your ongoing, regular monthly payments throughout the entire job. The final waiver, you only use that one time for the very last payment that closes out your contract and includes the release of your retainage.
Now, this is where the timing becomes really important. Conditional versus unconditional. A conditional waiver is you saying, I promise to waive my lien rights on the condition that your payment actually clears. It's not valid until you've successfully been paid. An unconditional waiver, on the other hand, is a statement that says, I have been paid. You should only sign one of those after the money is safely in your bank account, because it is effective the very second you sign it.
So this table puts it all together. Here's how the cycle works in practice. When you submit your monthly pay app, you're going to include a conditional progress waiver for your own company. Then, for all your suppliers, you're going to submit the unconditional progress waivers that you collected from them after you paid them with the previous month's money. This whole system makes sure everyone is paid before they permanently waive their rights.
And finally, let's cover the simple, completely non-negotiable rules. Getting these things wrong will stop your payment request dead in its tracks.
Remember this number. This is the most important date of the month. Your entire, complete payment application package has to be submitted through Procore no later than the 20th of the month. Not the 21st, the 20th.
And believe me, there is zero gray area here. The official policy says that if you submit on the 21st, your application will just get pushed to the next month's payment cycle. So missing that deadline by even 1 day means you're waiting another 30 days to get paid.
So, I want you to treat this as a final pre-flight check. Before you hit submit, ask yourself 3 things. Are all my forms filled out correctly and completely? Did I make the 20th of the month deadline? And is my insurance coverage up to date and current? Answering no to any one of these is grounds for an automatic rejection.
And there you have it. Building a rejection-proof pay application isn't about some secret trick. It's just about being precise and following the checklist. A complete, correct package that's submitted on time, that's the proven formula for a fast, predictable payment. And of course, if you ever have questions, the accounting department is your best resource.